Elbows up, Canada. After a long 18-month wait, we finally get ourselves a federal budget today, and we're all waiting to see what it includes. By all accounts, it is going to be a generational budget that will see spending that we have not seen in peacetime ever, perhaps even during the COVID crisis, perhaps as much as $100 billion of annual debt being added, because this is a prime minister, Prime Minister Carney, who is determined to take on the Americans full throttle, and a Minister of Finance, Minister Champagne, who is determined to do all he can to assist with a very interventionist, proactive, wartime. I don't think there's any other way to say it. Wartime budget where Canada is really at war, and it may not be a war with bullets and tanks and infantry, but it is a war with tariffs and geoeconomic hegemony being foisted upon us by our neighbor, which is becoming increasingly untrustworthy and erratic. So we have to think about what we're going to be doing and what we're going to be seeing. And what this means for you and your portfolio is that there will be money going into things that we've never seen before. Money for the military, money for housing, but especially money for things that have long been projects of Mark Carney's liking. He's been a lifelong proponent of green energy. So I think there will be a lot of money for infrastructure surrounding renewables and carbon capture and storage and that sort of thing. There will be a lot of money being put toward keeping the Canadian steel industry afloat, but also using Canadian steel so that when we build our houses and do all the other things that we can to help ourselves, that we use our own internal products so that we can actually have a market for our demands as the market itself, the border, falls by the wayside. We're going to be seeing a lot of money going toward infrastructure, toward real estate, toward resources, and toward military spending, the likes of which we haven't seen before. This is something that we need to realize, that the economy is going to be in a more precarious situation, and that we are heading toward a world of precarity, whether we like it or not. And there's really not a lot we can do about it. So we need to come to terms with it. We'll see how it is playing out in terms of the politics and how the other parties react. My sense is that, as in any other wartime situation, opposition parties are going to have to get in line and fight the battle and help the government do what needs to be done. We're at war. I cannot be more clear than that. Canada is in an economic war right now, and this will be a government that will do all it can to prop up the Canadian economy, to fight the Americans, so that the Canadian economy can be resilient enough to withstand whatever comes and hope to come back stronger at the end of the day. So we'll see what happens. We'll talk to you next week to see what happened after we know what the exact details are. This has been Weekly Wealth Update, a Make Better Wealth Decisions podcast dedicated to explaining how current events impact your portfolio and the wealth decisions you make. Tune in for commentary on how the news of the week affects your portfolio and your thinking.